Characteristics of business economics. First characteristic of business economics is it is microeconomics in nature. Microeconomics means micro means small. Small means which we study only a single firm, a single industry or a single individual. That is called micro. So business economics primarily focus on individual firm, industries or market rather than economy as a whole. The economy means the whole country, so we need not study the whole country in the managerial economics. We study only about a particular firm or about a particular industry or about a particular individual. So this, the first characteristic is microeconomics in nature, and the second one is decision oriented. The main purpose of managerial economics is to take the decision. So it is concerned with decision making within firm, such as pricing, production, investment and resource allocation. There are several kinds of decisions a business has to make regarding, suppose pricing. What should be the price of a product? Suppose a manufacturing firm is there and it wants to fix its price, then it cannot blindly fix the price. It has to take into several consideration. What are the prices of the substitute goods in the market? What is the total cost? Everything has to be keep in mind. Then it can take the decision. And production. Production, how much units to be produced? How much to be produced? What should be the stock in hand? What should be the stock in godown? These kind of decision must be taken, and managerial economics helps in that. Investment also. Investment means investing the money in the business or share market or in any business field to earn some profit. And resource allocation. Resources are the means. Resources are the means with which we satisfy our wants. In generally, resources are the means with which we satisfy our wants. But in business, resources means the resources are those means with which we can fulfill the business activities. So this is decision oriented in nature. And another one is practical application. Business economics emphasizes real world applications and solution to practical business problems faced by managers. It is not completely theoretical like economics theory. Economic theories are purely theoretical. Sometimes it may not be possible to put it into practice, but managerial economics is a practical oriented and emphasizes its entire focus on the application of the economic principles and managerial techniques to solve the business problems. And interdisciplinary in nature. Interdisciplinary means it takes into consideration various fields and various disciplines, such as it considers economics, mathematics, statistics and operation research. Economics is the basis for managerial economics, but it also takes into account mathematical technique like linear programming, queuing theory and statistical technique like demand forecasting, time series analysis, and operation research like LPP problem, transportation problem, assignment problem. These kind of operation research problems are also taken into consideration. So it is interdisciplinary. It is not limited to only economics. It takes into account different fields like mathematics, statistics and operation research. And the another one is normative and positive analysis. There are two concepts in economics. One is normative and another is positive. Normative economics means what should be done and positive means what it is. Suppose the present rate of unemployment in India is 10%. 10% of the population is unemployed. So it comes under positive analysis because it is showing what is the fact. The fact is that the population is 10% unemployed. But normative economics studies what should be done. It says that suppose unemployment rate should be only 2% or 0% unemployment rate. So if we are saying it should be this much, it should be like this, then we are saying it is a normative economics. If we are just stating the facts, without any explanation, without any judgments, then we call it as positive economics. So here the nature of managerial economics is both positive and normative, because it find out what is the situation in the business and what should be the situation to make it better. So it is both a positive and normative. And another is assumption of rational behavior. It assumes that individual within firm acts rationally to maximize utility or profits given constraints. Rational, you may be knowing the meaning of rational. Rational means the persons who always think of maximizing the benefit with limited resources. So similarly, the managerial economics also assumes that individual should act rationally to maximize the utility or profit given the constraints. Constraints are the limitation. A business cannot do whatever it wants. It has a limited boundary. Within that, it has to do limited resources it has. So using that limited resources only, the business has to do all the activities. So keeping in mind the constraints, the businessman has to be rational to maximize the utilities or profits. And another one is dynamic and adaptive. It is not stringent or it is very rigid. It is dynamic and adaptive. If according to the situation we can change the decision making patterns, and whatever the methods we are following, we can change accordingly based on the situation. Like in economic theory, we have fixed laws, law of equi-marginal utility, law of demand. It is a fixed kind of concept, but in managerial economics it is dynamic nature of market and the need of firms to adapt to changing conditions and competitive pressures. In market we have continuous changes in the market, so we have to keep into mind the changing conditions and competitive pressures. A business does not work in isolation. Isolation means separately. A business cannot work alone. It is having so many competitors in the market. So when the competition increases in the market, it has to change its way of taking the decisions, its way of behaving, its way of pricing, promotion, everything needs to be changed based on the market conditions. So this is called dynamic and adaptive characteristics.